Okay, this is UFO Bob. I'm going to pick up from my other video, which is a lot shorter, and ask a question. What's with all the... It seems like there's more anti-Israel speech that's starting to happen, and it's starting to come from the right, what I would say is the extreme right. I find it to be very worrisome because it's coming from people who claim to be quote-unquote Christian. And I find it to be very disturbing. First of all, let me just say this, okay, so people don't misinterpret what I'm saying here, because I realize, for quite some time now, there's been a lot of tension, friction, wars in that part of the world, and especially between the Israel and the Palestinians. I have an old saying that if I don't have no personal dog in a fight, meaning if it has nothing to do with me and it's none of my business, I shouldn't be taking a side just because. In other words, even though I greatly respect the Jewish people, especially through everything they've been through, and even though I understand why the nation of Israel was formed, because after World War II, what happened with, Hitler, the Holocaust, they wanted to have a home of their own. And, other factors as well, I still acknowledge at the same time the right of the Palestinians, to be in that region too. And at my point of view, that you have to have a two-state solution. And I acknowledge that there's been wrongs on both sides. To me, it does no good to say that one side's more at wrong than the other, because at the end, you got to move. At some point, there has to be a resolution and a compromise. And I mean by a compromise, like in other words, both sides saying, hey, let's stop this insanity, let's put down this warfare between us. But with that said, and that's between them, I don't understand how people could get so heated up taking sides. And then with the thing with the Israel thing, this comes from what far right wing Christians, supposedly Christians, people like Nick Fuentes, and you even hear some criticism from Tucker Carlson of all people, and things like that. When I was growing up, the viewpoint was different because it was Israel was looked upon as stabilizing that region. It was looked upon as a democracy amongst other countries surrounding it. It didn't have the same democratic perspective, and so it was necessary to balance things out. Once again, that's not to take sides, so it's just looking at it just from a neutral political way. I don't understand what's happening, man. Maybe people could comment. Feel free to comment, and I welcome your comments. Thank you.